everyone, welcome to my class today. Today we'll see a topic in Nursing Foundation Health Assessment subject, that is physical examination. So we have already dealt with health history. So today we'll see some introduction about the physical examinations. Okay, definition of physical examination is a routine test that is done by a healthcare professional. So here whenever any person is coming to hospital, we inspect, palpate it with our hands, with our fingers we will check the patient's body and listen for any abnormal sounds that will denote the patient is having a deviation from normal health. So it is a routine health checkup done in the hospital. And coming to the purposes of physical examination, by doing physical examination we can also identify the physical and the mental health of the patient. So that is whether he is mentally sound, and we can identify the disease at its early stage. So if when we check the disease at early stage, then early treatment, then the prognosis also will be better. And for identifying the cause of disease and also the extent of disease, okay, so we can identify why the person is suffering from a particular disease, and how long it will take for the patient to cure, whether it is an acute disease or a chronic disease. To identify that, we do a physical examination, and for checking any medical issues that can become a serious problem in a future. Okay, so we can identify like if there is some genetic problem or any problem which can cause a serious problem in the future, okay, or if it is a cancerous growth, benign growth, so anything we can identify it by doing a physical examination, so that we can see whether this problem will become serious in the future. And also to identify any changes in the normal physical health of the person, so we do physical examination to identify the physical health and to find out if the patient is fit for any procedures like surgery or any intervention. Before that we have to do a physical examination and see whether person is fit to undergo a surgery, like we check the vital signs in this, and to determine whether patient needs any further test. Okay, so in physical examination we can identify which system of the body is not functioning. Based on that we can advise the person to go for further diagnostic test like any CT scan, imaging studies, or any laboratory test. Okay, and also we can, through physical examination, we can identify if the patient is suffering from any communicable diseases. So if there is any communicable diseases, then we can also alarm the family or warn the family to be cautious, so that they can take precautions in order to prevent the communicability of the disease. Okay, coming to the methods of physical examination, it is inspection, palpation, percussion, auscultation, and olfaction. So we'll see one by one. Okay, so first method is the inspection. So inspection means with our eyes we carefully observe for any abnormal deviation in the person's body. So whenever we are inspecting, we have to see from the general point to the specific attention. So generally, for example, we are seeing a lesion or a wound in the body, so we have to first see which all area the wound is present, that is the general view, and later we have to in depth see the type of wound, whether there is any perforation, whether any bleeding, whether it is a fresh wound or whether it is an infected wound. So like that we have to specifically focus the characteristics of the lesion. So like that, from general to specific we have to do the inspection. And whenever we are doing an inspection, we have to use a pen light or a torch light, and also we can use different types of scopes. So there is otoscope to examine the ear, ophthalmoscope for the eyes, and laryngoscope for the larynx. So like that, different scopes are there. According to that we have to use the scope, so that effective visualization of the parts can be there. And whenever we are inspecting the person, we have to see there is adequate lighting in the room, so that the patient's body will be exposed nicely, and we can also clearly check for any minor abnormalities in the person's body. And whenever we are doing an inspection, so we may need the patient to expose the body part. So this may be embarrassment. Embarrassment means patient may feel shame or shy to expose the body part, so that we have to discuss with the patient, make the patient comfort, and also we have to prevent unnecessary opening of the body parts. Whenever needed, we have to use a linen or a sheet and drape is cover the patient, and also provide privacy with screen or closing the door, so that patient will be comfortable during inspection. Next method is palpation. So in palpation we use our sense of touch to assess for texture. Texture is the tension of the skin and temperature is warmth, moisture is wetness, and the location of organ and the size, whether it is bigger or in normal size, and if there is any vibrations in the body, and pulsation, swelling, mass, tenderness. Tenderness is pain on touch. So these all things you can identify in palpation, and whenever we are doing a palpation, we have to calm and with gentle approach we have to touch the person, and also systematically we have to do. That is, first we have to do light palpation, that is on the body overall palpation will do, then only we have to move into deep palpation. Deep palpation is we press nicely the inner organs to identify for any tender area. So all these deep palpation will be done at the last. So we have to follow systematically, and whenever we are using doing palpation, we have to use our hands and fingers in a technically. So the techniques of palpation is for checking the temperature of the body. We have to use the dorsal surface of the hand. Okay, so dorsum is the back of the hand, and when to check for the vibration, you have to check with the base of the fingers. Okay, so that is at the area where the little finger is there, using the base we have to check. And for masses is any cancerous or tumor growth or any abnormal tissue, you can do by doing a deep palpation and grasping the mass in the fingertips. Okay, with the help of fingertips you have to nicely grasp is you have to pull the mass and identify the size and the shape of the masses. And for tenderness or texture, pulse, swelling, you can use your fingertips. Okay, so these are the techniques for doing the palpation. Okay, next method is the percussion. So percussion is examiner we using the fingers, they percuss or make a short tap on the person's body so that they can see the underlying vibrations in the organs. So here you can see the density, that is the thickness of the structures, and also locate for the size and shape of the organs of the body. So in case the organs are increased in size, the density will be varying. Okay, so according to that you can identify. And the area where the air is there, like lungs, they produce louder, deeper and longer sounds than the area where there is more solid structures like tissue or any bone is there. So there the sounds will be softer and higher and shorter sounds. Okay, so we will see the types of percussion sounds. So timpani is heard on the abdomen, so it is a loud high pitched drum like sound will be heard. And dull sound is thud like sound you can hear over dense areas like heart and liver. And flat sound is more dull sound. Okay, so extremely dull sound with soft quality, and it is high pitch which is heard over the dense tissues like bones and muscles. Okay, because of the solidity there is a high pitch sound. And resonance is heard over the lung spaces. It is a hollow low pitch sound heard over the air filled tissues, that is in the lungs. And hyper resonance is lung pathology, louder sound but the pitch is low than resonance, and it has a booming sound, and it is heard over air filled cavities like hyper resonant lungs, like denotes which lung pathology. Okay, that is in case of emphysema or asthma, there will be hyper resonant sound. Okay, because increased air filled in the lungs. So the techniques of percussion, so here there will be two hands. So one left middle finger is called as the pleximeter, and the right middle or the index finger where we used to tap is called as the plexar. Okay, so the pleximeter should be kept parallel on the organ where we are going to percuss, and parallel, and this plexar should be kept perpendicular on the border to be percussed. Okay, and whenever we are using the pleximeter finger, so it should be firmly present on the body so that the pleximeter finger in between that air should not touch the body surface. Okay, so like that you have to firmly keep so that the vibrations will be clearly audible. And then whenever we are percussing, we have to start from the resonant area, then move on to the dull area. Okay, so that is from the lungs, then we have to go to the abdomen area. And during percussion, so the plexar, so you should, when you are tapping, you have to move also the wrist. Okay, so from the wrist joint only the movement should be there, not only the fingers will be moved. Okay, so wrist joint movement only should be there. And when we are percussing the back of the person, so we have to tell the person to keep the shoulders to the opposite side. Okay, so which area we are, in case uh, we are percussing the left shoulders, the person should keep the hand over the opposite, that is right shoulders. Okay, so like that opposite area. And even when we are checking percussing on the axillary area, the person's hand should be kept over the head. Okay, and upper border of liver and heart border should, all those borders should be, borders of the organ should be percussed carefully. And next is auscultation. So auscultation is with the help of stethoscope we listen for the sounds in the body. So these sounds will be created by either movement or air or fluid. Okay, so often lung sounds, heart sounds and abdominal sounds and even blood vessels, they make some vibratory sounds. So these all we can auscultate with the help of a stethoscope. And last is olfaction. So olfaction is using our sense of smell. Okay, so when we see or when we do an examination on a patient, some body odors will come from the person. So if there is any abnormal body odors, that can be identified during the assessment. So in assessment of odor, so if there is an alcohol odor from the mouth, that means patient had ingested an alcohol. And if there is ammonia odor in urine, then the patient is having a urinary tract infection. And if there is sweet fruity breath smells or acetone like breath smells are there, then patient may have a diabetic ketoid acidosis. And if there is bromhidrosis, that is, it is malodor that is caused due to excessive sweating or perspiration or any poor hygiene. Okay, when person is having too much of sweating and not bathing for a long days, then there will be a malodor, that is called bromhidrosis. And fishy breath odors will be seen in case of liver or kidney problems due to poor metabolic function. And ammonia or fishy smell from the wound, if it is coming, then it is an infected wound. Okay, so like this with the odors we can also assess for the problems in the patient. And next is preparation for examination. So whenever patient is coming for an physical examination, both the room environment and the client should be prepared. So preparing the room will be, so you have to see patient is in a well lit environment, that is the rooms has to have adequate lighting and also ventilation, so that to prevent sweating. And the temperature should be maintained. Okay, like in case if the is the cold area, then all the fan has to be switched off. And if it is a very hot area, then we have to switch on AC or like this. So based on the temperature we have to maintain the room. And the bed linen which we use for the patient, so that should be clean without any wrinkles, so that the person will feel like sleeping there and having that examination done. And all the equipment should be disinfected and sanitized before using to the patient to prevent cross infection. And also before doing a physical examination, so what all supplies is needed. Okay, so all the torchlight, the scopes we are using, so everything should be in working condition. So you have to see the working condition, and also you have to see that whether it is present in the patient bedside. So all those supplies should be kept ready. And whenever we are doing any examination for one patient, immediately we have to discard all the non-usable items, and reusable items you have to again clean it and sterilize it and keep it ready to use for the next patient. And whenever a patient is having any communicable diseases, you have to follow all the universal safety precautions while examining those patients. Okay, so there are different precautions for like respiratory isolation or contact isolation. So according to the type of isolation we have to use the precautions. And next is client preparation. So once the patient environment is cleaned, then we have to receive the patient and we have to make the patient comfortable. So before starting the physical examination, you have to keep on explaining and have an interview with the patient and make the patient comfortable, and also see that the patient is not having any stress, so that patient may not cooperate with the procedure. and you have to give comfortable position in the bed. So if patient is wanting any extra pillows or any extra devices to maintain the position, so you have to give the comfortable devices. And before doing the physical examination procedure, ask the patient to empty the bladder, so that due to stress the patient may have may wanted to pass urination, so with can interrupt the physical examination procedure. So before that, ask the patient to urinate, and before doing a procedure, tell the patient to wear the hospital gown, so that easy for removing and visualizing the body parts. And you have to also have adequate bed sheets to cover the patient. And if it is a closed room, then you can use the privacy by closing with a screen or the door. Okay, so this is about the introduction of physical examination. In further classes, we will see the different assessment detailedly. So I hope you have understood my class. Thanks for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, and also click the notification button, and stay tuned.